Hey guys, Alex Mesil here, and in this tutorial I'm gonna show you how to create a star time-lapse like this just by using two pictures. Yes, just two pictures, you heard it right. No longer do you need to stay out all night shooting every single frame of the night sky slowly moving, I mean Earth rotating. Now the only thing you need to do is take one good picture of a Milky Way or just stars, as you wish, and the rest will do in post. So let's jump right in. Okay guys, here's the picture we're gonna be working with. It's a photo of a Milky Way which I shot this summer. So from this still picture we're gonna be making a moving time lapse. And in the beginning I said we're gonna need two pictures, but here I'm showing you just one. So what's gonna be the other one? Let me show you. So the second picture we're gonna be using is this picture of tree branches with transparent background, which I found on Pixabay. It's actually a very nice platform with a lot of free stuff. So let's go ahead and download it. So we downloaded our branches PNG. So now let's go ahead and import those two pictures in Premiere Pro. Then let's create a sequence. So in settings, let's use custom settings, 24 frames per second. I'm gonna stay with 1920 by 1080, which is a full HD. If you wanna do 4K, then just type 3840 by 2160. But for this tutorial, I'm just gonna make a full HD sequence. So hit OK. Then let's go ahead and select our two images and drag them into the timeline and stack them one on top of the other. So now it doesn't look any good, but we're just starting out. So the next thing we want to do is just for a moment, let's disable our branches and let's go ahead and just scale up this image of the stars of our Milky Way. Let's place it so that we have our Milky Way in the center of our video, just like this. So now let's go ahead and enable our branches back. So let's drag this layer a bit down. I feel like we don't have that many branches, so I wanna make a few more. So for that, I'm just gonna duplicate my clip. To do this, I can just hold Option and drag this clip up and position my new clip on the right side. I'm gonna increase the scale so it doesn't look the same as our original. If you want to make it even less obvious that you are using basically the same clip twice, what you can do is go to Effects and type Horizontal. With our copied clip selected, we double click on it, and what it does, it flips the image horizontally. Let's go ahead and position it the way we like. I'm gonna keep it like this, and I'm also going to move this a bit to the left and lower it just a tiny bit, just like this. So yeah, now I'm happy with the result that we have. The next step we wanna do is darken our branches a little bit because I feel they're like too bright for the night. So what I'm gonna do is I'll select our both clips, nest them, branches, just like this. Then let's go to color panel. Let's select our nested sequence branches. And what I want to do is I want to lower the exposure just a little bit, just like somewhere here. So if I disable lumetri color, this is where we came from. And here we are. We darkened our branches. Now they act like our time-lapse foreground, a silhouette of branches. And so the next thing we want to do is actually bring our sky into motion. So now let's select our sky clip. Let's select our starting position. I think like this works perfectly. And now I'm gonna keyframe position, keyframe rotation. Then I'm gonna go a bit further. I'm gonna rotate it just a little bit, just like this. Then I wanna raise it just like this. And we have to be careful because now we're kind of cropping the image here, and we don't want to do this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna increase the scale, but I don't have my scale keyframed. So now I'm gonna just zoom in just like this. So let's check how it looks. I'm not very sure about that. This movement doesn't look real to me. Let's zoom in a bit more here. Yes, the initial position I like. The end position, maybe let's move it a bit up. Just like this. Yeah, I'm gonna zoom in a bit more. Let's check the motion. Yes, now the motion starts to look more natural. So let's try to play our clip. So yeah, it's already a pretty good result. Keep in mind that in this tutorial we are not making it scientifically accurately, I mean the motion that we're producing, but if you wanna make it like one-to-one with reality, you are of course free to do it. But for time's sake, we're not gonna be doing this in this tutorial. Now we have a good foreground, we have a nice motion in the background. Is there something we can add? Well, what we can do is we can blur the branches just a tiny bit, because our focus point is obviously the stars, and at this point with our aperture wide open, the foreground must be at least a little bit blurry. So let's go ahead and apply a blur. For that we'll go to effects, type in blur and choose Gaussian blur. Just double click it, and I'm gonna pick some value like 5 just to blur it just a little bit. Let me zoom in so we see what we did without blur, with blur. I think it's a bit too much, maybe let's go like 3. I think it also blends this foreground even better into the image. And so yeah, this is pretty much it, guys. Let's now go ahead and export it and check out it full screen once again. So yeah, this was it, guys. A pretty easy way to make a time lapse, which in reality would take you a lot of time, because in a classical way you have to be out the entire night, because as you know, our Earth rotates not that quickly. So in order to capture this motion, you have to be there at least for a few hours, taking images with even intervals. And at this point, if you've done it before, you know you're freezing, you're bored, you're very excited about the result, and your heart is warm, but your body is super cold. Thank you guys for watching this tutorial. I hope it was helpful. And until the next time, see you guys later.